Hi, welcome to another reading. Today we're doing a soulmate reading, which I think is exciting. We're going to look at who your soulmate or your next major partner is. I do want to say that if you choose a group and as you're listening, you're thinking, this isn't what I want in a partner, then trust that and choose another group because it should feel exciting or right to you in some way. If you're drawn to more than one group, there may be messages for you in multiple groups, and that's okay. If you find that none of these are your group, don't worry. I will do this topic again in the future, but I think that we should jump right in and take a look at your options. I'm going to show you an object as well as the Two of Cups from each of these decks to help you decide. Let's take a closer look. For group one, I have a stick of Palo Santo for you. We're using the Golden Art Nouveau Tarot, and this is the Two of Cups. For group two, you've got this piece of garden quartz. We're using the Tarot of the Witch's Garden, and this is the Two of Cups. For group three, we have this sparkly piece of vanadinite. We're using the Tarot of the Owls today, and this is the Two of Cups. For group four, we have a pine cone. We are using the Pastoral Tarot today, and this is the Two of Cups. Okay. Take your time choosing. We're going to get right into it. So once you've decided, meet me in your reading. Hi, group one. Welcome to your reading. You chose the Palo Santo and the Golden Art Nouveau Tarot. We are doing a soulmate reading today about your next major partner. And I'm going to get into the questions that we're going to ask as we're shuffling the cards here. But I wanted to mention something as I actually started filming this already and had to start again because things kept going wrong. And so I was getting the message that you may have had a lot of false starts in your love life. So either you have had a lot of short relationships, or you saw things going somewhere and then they just stopped, or you feel like you've been searching and searching and searching and searching and you still have not found someone that you could commit to or could see as a life partner or something like that. So that may or may not be your message, but if that is ringing a bell, you may have chosen the right reading. So let's shuffle and I'll tell you what we're going to ask today. So we're going to look at what your person might be like, what they might even look like, what they will be like with you, what you're like together. We're going to look at what draws you to them, what you like about them, what you might not like as much, what they like about you, and finally, what is something they may want you to know. So let's get into it, shall we? So for group one, what is their soulmate or their next major partner? What is this person like? What can you tell me about them? Okay, we have the Knight of Cups. The Nine of Cups. And we have the Two of Wands. Okay, we will start with the Knight of Cups. So this person is likely to be pretty romantic in some way. And so they may come in very romantically at the start, or their romantic qualities may be shown over time. And I wonder if that's maybe more the case just because of this particular Knight of Cups. A lot of times the Knight of Cups has a more romantic vibe, and they are pretty much always romantic, but this person for some reason seems a little bit more serious. So I wonder if at first glance you would not guess that about them. And I think, the knights pretty much always have armor, but for some reason the armor is really standing out to me on this night. So I think that this person might be a little bit guarded. And so when they are able to let down their guard and they feel trust, then they can be a lot more showy with the romantic side. And with both of these cards here, I'm really getting that they might be quite generous, especially to someone that they are in love with or falling in love with. And they have quite a lot to share. This person has accumulated wealth in some way. So this could be monetary, but it could be in other ways. It could be because it's the cups. It could be that they are emotionally wealthy. So emotionally mature and intelligent and stable and able to speak on how they are feeling and be aware of how they are feeling. And this person also is able to be open to your emotions and feelings and the things that you are thinking and feeling. This is someone who has the capacity and who will listen to you when you are speaking about these things. And your feelings and your emotions are important to this person, especially the more that they know you. With the Two of Wands, this might be someone who travels a lot or wants to travel a lot. This person may also live in a different place than you. So this could be someone that is literally in another country, in another part of the world, or they may just be, it could be that they're a couple hours away. It doesn't have to be really far, but, and it may not be, they may not be far, but that is an option. This could be someone who does not live where you live currently, or they may be soon moving to your area, or they just really like to travel, or they like different cultures. They may even like foods from different cultures, or and somehow they are far from you currently and they are going to come to be near to you, or they like to go places and do new things and try new things, and they appreciate other cultures in some way. This might be someone who is sort of adventurous, but I don't get the sense that this is adventurous. Like, I don't necessarily feel that this person is like climbing mountains or jumping out of planes or like, I don't know, whitewater rafting. Like, I think that they have maybe like an adventurous palate and they're willing to try a lot of things, or they may dress in interesting ways. Like, somehow this person appreciates an expanse of things somehow in their life. And it feels kind of calming in some way. And I don't know why that is, but I think that they really want to experience things with you. And I think that they want to travel with you, even if that's just taking day trips or trying a new restaurant or trying a new recipe, or just going somewhere new with you and doing something with you. I think that they dream of having a partner to do these things with and to go places with and try things with. And I think their adventurousness can come out even more when they have like a partner to do this with. I think this is somebody who plans for the future to a degree. I think there is a spontaneity with them, but they like security, and they like to know that they have things sort of like settled and planned for the future. So this is someone who is probably pretty good with money, or they want to be better with money. They may be good at budgeting or good at saving or good at planning in some way. They have things that they want to do and accomplish still in their life, and they definitely want someone along to do that with them. Yeah, the red is really standing out to me, which is making me think root chakra, which is making me think like security, stability, reliability, planning, being grounded, being here in like the physical reality. Like with the Knight of Cups, they can be a daydreamer. They may get a little bit lost in fantasy and imagination and even creativity, but they also have a strong ability to be and stay grounded in some way. They don't get so lost in fantasy that they live in an illusionary world. I think that they very much are here in the real world. And it also makes me think that, like, for some reason, I think that they are really warm, not just in like personality, but like their body is warm. Like they give off a lot of heat, or they run hot. And I think they're very like comforting physically. Like if you are an affectionate person, I I think that you will feel comforted by their embrace or their touch, like they feel very solid in some way. I do get some stubbornness, and I've been getting this lately with the Nine of Cups. There is a little bit of stubbornness. So it's making me think that they could be an earth sign or a fire sign or have that in their chart, even though we have cups, which would be more water. But we do have wands, which is fire. And there's just a stubbornness to them. I don't think they're like so stubborn that they're not willing to hear other people or anything like that, but they know what they like. They know what they're willing to put up with at this point. And I think because they do have a certain amount of relationship experience, I don't think this is someone where they've never been in romantic relationships. This is someone who has definitely had some experience in this arena, or they do feel a little bit older to me, like 30s, 40s, 50s, but they could be younger, but they just have an understanding of people based on how they've lived. So even if they don't have a lot of relationships in their roster, they may have a deep understanding of people in relationships because of their observance of other people's relationships or their family relationships or something. But they have this experience that allows them to know what they want, what they're willing to put up with, what is okay with them and what is not. I think that it's actually a really positive quality, but it can come across as a little bit stubborn. And I think that they may realize too that they are a little strict about some of these things and the rigidity isn't necessarily warranted. So it could be that they are kind of closing their eyes to options because they're like, well, I'm not going to be with somebody who does this, but they're not willing to like see that it doesn't necessarily need to be that rigid. I don't think that this would prevent you from being together, but they may realize their stance has been a little too rigid. But it's not that they're closed off. I think that there is a guardedness. I'm definitely seeing a guardedness, and it may take a little while for this person to open up to new people or even to open up to you, but they want relationship and they are open to people, but they're cautious as they move toward new relationships, even friendships. And, they've protected themselves. And, they could, because it feels like this energy that they've had these previous relationships, it may have created more of a protection for themselves to make sure that they're not going to get hurt again, or that someone is going to fit into their life in a way that makes sense. And so I think this is good, but because it's coming out here, you may feel that they're closed off or guarded in some way, but I would just be a little bit patient because there's such a sweetness to them once they open up. I think that they really want love and they're very loving and very warm once you get past their defenses. And I think this is someone that also makes it known what they want. So you don't have to guess with this person. Sometimes with the Knight of Cups, you can get this energy of someone like sort of overly romantic in a way where it's sort of impractical or it's not based in reality, but I'm not getting that with this one. I'm actually getting this really positive energy where they can be so sweet with someone that they really love and care about, but you sort of have to earn it and you have to earn their trust. And I don't think that's a bad thing at all. What might this person look like? Okay, we've got the Three of Pentacles. And we have the Eight of Cups. That's interesting. I was a little unsure about this question just because I don't want you to, well, first of all, when we're reading energies, people can all look so different, but this is just to get what they might look like. So with this Eight of Cups, it is kind of making me think that in some way, maybe your guides don't want you to know yet what they look like. And because the moon is here too, it's like making me think the unknown. So I think there is something about not wanting you to know, maybe because if it sounded like a description that doesn't suit what you're looking for, you might want to turn your back on it. But I mean, you're definitely going to be attracted to this person. I wouldn't worry about that, but they may look different than what you think you want. That's the message I'm kind of getting. They may they may wear a lot of clothes. Like they might kind of cover up a little bit. And it's like, you kind of are like, why do you wear such like baggy? It's like they're wearing baggy clothes or they're wearing too many clothes or something. And you kind of wonder what that's all about. There's so much red energy that this person might be wearing red, or a version of red, pink or maroon or that kind of thing, when you meet them. Or they may wear a lot of warm colors. I think they might have a warmer skin tone possibly. It is very possible this person could be bald. They could be a brunette. They may not be. Just keep that in mind. Because the Three of Pentacles can be sort of a craftsman or an artist or someone who displays their work publicly, it's making me think that you may meet them and see that they wear clothes that are in accordance with their profession in some way. So like if they're a landscaper, they wear certain kind of clothes, or if they are an artist, they dress kind of creatively. There's something about like what they do for work and what they wear and how that sort of makes an impression on you in some way. I'm getting clothes more than I am getting like physical attributes. So there seems to be something about the way they dress that will make some kind of an impact on you, whether you like the way they dress or you don't. I don't think it's ultimately going to matter, but you're going to notice it. For some people, this person has facial hair or they have sort of like a grizzled look in some way. Again, that is not for everybody. For some people, this person will sort of look like an actor or a public figure. Like you'll be like, oh, you kind of look like so-and-so. They may have a seriousness to their expression when you first meet them. I don't think that that's how they always are, but there's a seriousness coming through in some way. And I almost wonder too, I know we're looking at physical looks, but I'm also getting the message that like you may feel like you're bothering them when you first meet them. And I don't think that's what's actually happening, but because they kind of get lost in whatever they're doing, it's like, you know, when you're focusing on someone and something, and then someone like comes and taps your shoulder or something and you turn to look at them and they're like, whoa, sorry for bothering you. But you're just so focused on what you're doing that you like almost have a mad look or something on your face. Does that make sense? Let's look at what they will be like with you and what you're like together. Okay, we have the Fool. And we have the Chariot. I'm going to set these aside. Okay. So group one, what will your person be like with you? So there's an innocence coming forward here with the Fool, and more of a spontaneity actually. And so it's like they can seem so serious at first, but then with you, they're quite loosened up. They're a lot more childlike, a lot more playful, kind of optimistic and hopeful and sweet and open. They're more spontaneous, more willing to maybe go with what you want and compromise. They're more willing to take risks. Their energy sort of opens up with you, which is really cool. I think that you open up something within them that allows them to feel like they have a fresher, lighter energy. They're more willing to try new things. Yeah, and with him holding the rose here, it's the romantic part is coming out for me again. And so I think that there's definitely a romantic side that comes out because of you. And I think this person just is a lot more open to life and to experiences because of feeling safe with you or because of the energy that you bring out in them. They may be more impulsive, but I don't see that as a bad thing. The sun shining in this card is really, I'm being drawn to that a lot. And so it feels like happiness and vital, healthy energy. And with the dog here, you might have a pet or pets or a kid together or a project together. You might nurture something together. I again feel like this person might dress interestingly in some way. Maybe you even encourage them to be even more creative with how they present themselves, or they feel safe to be more authentically themselves because of you and with you. There's definitely an authenticity here and a feeling of like fresh new beginnings, like you're different than who they've been with before in some way, or it makes them almost feel like a teenager again, or like they feel just brighter and lighter. I feel like they sort of want to protect you in some way. Like if you're nervous about something, or you're nervous to be a beginner or to start something or to do something or to take a risk of some kind, they're like, I'll do it with you, or I'll do it first. I'll show you it's not that scary. They really want to make you feel safe and able to take risks yourself and be in the world and not feel afraid. This tunic he's wearing, I keep seeing like a bathrobe. And so I think this person feels very comfy with you, very comfortable to relax and to just like take a load off and not worry. I feel like they're kind of like their seriousness fades and they're able to sort of relax in a way that they haven't been able to relax in a while, or they can relax with you in a way that they haven't been able to relax with other people in a while. When we look at the Chariot and what you're like together, for some reason, I'm getting sort of a sassiness. So I don't know if this is because, I'm hearing like gossip, and not like you're gossiping about people or being mean, but like you guys kind of like, maybe you like sit on a bench at the park and you kind of look around and like make comments on like what you think people are talking about, what you think they're going to get up to later. Like, it's like you sort of like observe together and sort of make each other laugh by making up stories about what's happening with other people. Or if you don't like someone and like you vent about them, the other person's like, yeah, me too. Like there's like I don't know why sassy is the word, but oh my gosh, I didn't see these nipples. I'm going to cover them really quickly. Okay. So these are so transparent. I had to use so many of them to cover this. Sorry about that. Anyway, I think that you mirror each other in certain ways. Like you really have similarities that come out the more that you know one another. Like you may be very different or similar on the surface, but you find that you're very internally quite the same in certain ways, and you bond on that. You definitely go places together with the Chariot. You move forward together. So it's like once you come together, you are on a very similar path and you just move forward at the same similar pace together. There's definitely a comfort in that. And it's like what you were happy to do alone, now you get to be happy to do with somebody else. You may even work together or have a project together. You may have something you work on together that is in your day-to-day life versus just like spending your downtime together. You may come together to do something that you move forward together and you are like better together in some way. You're both weird in the same way. I don't know what way that is, but I'm getting that like you both do something kind of weird that's the same. So either you have a very niche hobby or interest, or you do something in a specific way that other people don't do. Like it could be as simple as like the way you floss your teeth. Like some little habit or something could be the same. And you're like, oh my God, I do that too. I'm definitely sensing a strong attraction of some kind, which is good. You probably want that. But you're definitely attracted to each other physically, not just to one another's personalities or values and things like that. There's a physical attraction here, definitely. This person will help you reach your goals. You will help them reach their goals. You may have a certain beliefs in common, whether this is like religious beliefs or values, like how you think that people should be in the world, what you think is right and wrong, something like that, some strong sense of belief or value you share, and that is bonding. You might really have there might have been like a show or a book or a movie or something from childhood or your younger years that you have a huge love for, and this person also has a huge love for. So it's like when we look at what you're like together, you're discovering these similarities and bonding over them. And so there's like a bonding quality that you have, which of course you probably want. The sky is the limit in some way. Like you guys are limitless in something that you do together. And because you're doing it together, it seems to open up the energy and open up the possibilities in ways that you didn't feel before you knew this person. You feel in somehow like you both finally met your match. Like nobody else was really quite right or good enough in some way. And now you've met your match. There is a seriousness for some reason when you're together, but it's kind of like funny. I don't know if your sense of humor is like very dry or somehow there's like a comedic aspect to your seriousness together. I don't fully know what that means, but it's like, I don't know, you're silly together in some way that's also serious. Or you really you have a similar sense of humor. You like the same things when it comes to humor. I don't know that there's a lot of you might be serious in the same way, if that makes sense. What you're sort of serious about, this person is sort of serious about. What you're sort of silly about, they're sort of silly about. And it's almost like you might be a little different in those ways, but you come together and they start to equalize so that you're more similar in those ways. And there's almost like a twin-like energy here where, you know how twins can sometimes have their own way of speaking or their own language, or they can kind of they see a similarity in one another that obviously doesn't exist in other people. And not to make it weird, you're obviously not siblings, but there's something about that twin-like energy that shows up for you. Or you really like to be similar in some way. You may go out into the world and you dress the same, or you wear corresponding outfits in some way. Maybe you either dress the same, or it's I'm going to wear white, you wear black, or I'm going to wear yellow, you wear orange, and you coordinate your outfits, or you like to be seen as a united front in public in some way, or you find yourself liking things because this person likes them and vice versa. You realize you're the same in some way. What draws you to this person? What else do you like about them? The moon, the Seven of Wands. We're going to get one more. Okay, and the Four of Cups. So what draws you to this person with the moon? I think that they can kind of seem like a mystery a little bit, and you're very curious. You want to know what's under the surface. You're who is that? And, you want to understand something about them. Yeah, there's definitely an intrigue here of some kind. And you want to see inside. And it seems like they offer so little of that at first. And you're I want to see more. What's going on? Who are they? They're different than people you've met before. You might dream about this person either before you meet them or after you meet them. And it heightens your curiosity even further. You sense something within them that is like you, and that incites your curiosity as well. There's like an instinctual draw to them that you almost can't help. It's like you may not even be able to explain it or put it into words. There's just a curiosity and an intrigue and like a magnetism of some kind, but it's not like it's strong, it's there, it's obvious and present, but it's not like so strong that you like can't help yourself. It's just like it kind of keeps being on your mind a little bit. You're curious, you're intrigued, you want to know more. And this person does not lay all their cards on the table at first. And so it leaves kind of an air of mystery. And because you sense something within them that is like you or that is interesting to you, you want to know more. I don't think at first you even see them as like necessarily relationship potential, or like you don't necessarily see this as like, oh, someone I'm going to commit to and have a life with. It's just more intrigue. What do you like about them? And so this would be, of course, once you know them a little bit more. I think that something you really like about them is how they have strong boundaries. They know what they want and what they don't want. They know what is right for them and what is not. This is someone that seems very unique to you in some way. And I think that you really like that about them too. They're not like everybody else. They're not a pushover. They are willing to stand their ground on what is important to them. They're willing to, even if they want something, they're willing to wait until they find the right thing. And so we could say that's about relationships. Like at this point, they're not willing to just date anybody or be with anybody. Even if a lot of people are coming toward them and interested in them, they are not interested until someone really lights them up, because they know what they have to give, they know what they want, and they're not willing to settle at this point. I think you really like that about them. And it also makes you know that when they choose you, it's because they really, really want to be with you specifically. And this can even be in like things as small as like a pair of socks. Like they're like, I need new socks. And you're like, okay, let's go get you some new socks. And you go to the store and they're like, not these, not these, not these. And you're like, well, what do you want? And they're like, I don't know, but I'll know when I find it. It's like they're very certain of what is not right for them. And they are willing to continue the search until they find what is right for them. But they also don't just turn things down because they're resistant. They're open, but they're going to be closed until things are right. They do not want to settle in any area of their life. They also, I think, stand up for what is right. So they will stand up for you, for people they care about, for themselves, for their beliefs and their values, for the underdog. This is someone who is not going to let people just get away with what they feel is not right. I think you really like their conviction and their ability to be protective of other people. And I think again, there's a sense of stability and security with this person that you feel. And I think that is really stabilizing and comforting for you. And also, I think that this person is really honest and truthful. And while that may be blunt at times, you really appreciate that they tell you the truth because you know what you're getting with them. And it doesn't feel like they hide things. I think in some ways they don't even realize like how direct they can be. Like they know that they are honest. They know that they're direct, and they're like, well, yeah, that's just the way you should be. That's just how they've always been, maybe. And I think that they don't realize sometimes how that can come across to other people because that's just how they are. What do you not like as much? Let's look at something that maybe irritates you. I don't know why I keep feeling like I need a reshuffle. Five of Pentacles. Two of Cups. Again, I just kind of want to clear out these cards and start fresh. Okay. So the Five of Pentacles and the Two of Cups, what do you maybe not like so much about them? For some reason, I'm thinking that you don't like something about a previous relationship that they've had. You either don't like an ex that they have, or you don't like how they talk about an ex, or you feel maybe insecure about a previous relationship that they had. Because I think that with someone that they were with before, they went through a lot, or they felt very in love. Like they may have had a big relationship that went bad in some way, but you might hear nostalgia in their voice, or you may think that they would have preferred to be with this person if things had been easier or something. I think there's some insecurity about a previous relationship. And I don't think that you need to have this insecurity. I think it just arises for you. Or there may be an ex who kind of still hangs around and like still tries to get their attention, and maybe does get their attention because maybe they have kids together, or maybe there is something that they still need to work out together. Maybe they still work together or something, and you feel like their ex is like trying to get their attention and trying to get back together, or trying to be a victim in some way to get attention, something like that. And it's like, ugh. So that's for some people. It doesn't have to be, there may not be an ex involved for everyone here. You might not like, so this person might feel the need to take care of people a lot in a way that you think that they don't need to be doing, and that they need to be paying more attention to the things and the people that are going well in their life. And I don't think it's that you don't think that they should be caring or loving to other people, but I think that for some people here, this person gives too much in your eyes. Like they don't necessarily see, like, for example, someone might be in their life that is always needing something, always the victim. Their life is always not working out. And your person is like, don't worry, like, I'll be here for you. Like they always pick up the phone. They're always bringing things to their house, something like that. Like it feels like sometimes they give in a way that you feel is overgiving or unwarranted. And, or they may be, this person could be in the medical field, or they may be in the mental health field, or something where their job is to help people. And it can become too much of their energy and too much of their time. And that can be a little bit frustrating sometimes when it's like, okay, like when you're not at work, you need to turn it off and not answer your phone at 2 a.m. Something like this. So it could be one of these circumstances, but what you don't like somehow is how someone or something or people are like a drain on them, and they are over giving to the point where you're like, okay, that's you're giving more than you need to, and it's like not even appropriate at this point. What does your person like about you? Okay, I'm going to scooch these out of the way and we're going to put these up. So we have the Page of Wands, the Hermit, and the High Priestess. So what does your person like about you? Well, you might be more of an introvert, not necessarily. But they might like that about you. I think that you are a very introspective person. You're very intuitive. You may be psychic. You may do work that is more intuitive. You seem to understand things about people and situations that not everybody sees or understands. You're either, I think you're very observant in some way. You're really observant and you're really intuitive in a way that is a little bit uncommon. And I think that they really love this about you because you bring a new element and a new perspective to things that not only opens their eyes, but also they just really respect those qualities, and they think that they see that as really special, and they really love that about you. Again, I'm seeing something about a uniqueness that you share in some way. And they really love that. They think that you are really wise and that you may have spent a lot of your time alone, or you might be someone who meditates, or you are spiritual. You might spend a lot of time in nature, or you read a lot, or you spend a lot of quiet time, something like this. And it has brought forward a really pleasant, calm, wise energy to you that they really, really like. It's really attractive to them. And it's actually, in some way, it's very different from them. I mean, they may also be intuitive and wise, but there are differences here between you, and they really admire the way that you are, the way that you think and speak, the time that you take. They admire the patience that you have, your introspection, your ability to go within, to know yourself. The wisdom that you give other people is really attractive to them. They really like the way that you are in the world, the way that you are with yourself. Your relationship with yourself is really attractive to them for some reason. Just like how you kind of were like, who is this? They're kind of the same way with you. It's like, who's this? And even when they know you, even past the initial meeting point, when they've begun to know you and when they do know you, I think they're still sometimes like surprised. They're like, who are you? In this really positive way. Not like they don't know who you are, but you continue to surprise them somehow with your knowledge and your wisdom and the things that you know and understand about yourself and other people in the world. And it is so intriguing to them. I think that they really respect if you need alone time or space or time to think or quiet time or whatever you do that does not directly involve them, they very much respect it. Even if you can be together, but you want quiet time, they respect it. Even if it's not how they normally are, even if it doesn't come as naturally to them, there is a deep respect for your needs and your process and how and who you are, and they love it, which is incredible. I think that you both really love the other's authentic self and authentic needs, and there's a lot of mutual admiration and respect here. And while I did see a lot of sameness between you, there is a lot of differences too. So I think that you really like the ways that you guys are the same, and so do they. And I think that they really like the ways that you are different, and you may also, but they really have a respect for other people's differences. And, because of their love and admiration for you, your differences become more and more beautiful to them. And there is a really strong attraction here. So what they like about you also is how attractive they find you to be. And I think that they think that you have some kind of connection to something otherworldly, or you seem not of this world in some way that they find fascinating. Yeah, you seem to have like a divine connection or something that they are fascinated by and they feel like is really cool, and they feel really lucky to be around it, and they're very inspired by it. And while in some way they seem different than the normal person, the average person, they also see you as very different from the average person, but in different ways. Your perspectives in some ways are so similar in a way that's different from most people, but also you have these different perspectives that are totally different from one another's, and you learn from one another. And they really like learning from you. Okay, lastly, we're going to look at something that they might want you to know. Three of Cups. And we have the Page of Pentacles. So what do they want you to know? They want you to continue to live your life and find joy in your life, whether or not that they are in it. So first of all, they are very, very supportive of your friendships and your family. This is someone who will likely really love the people in your life, but they also want you to enjoy your life in ways that don't involve them, even when you're together. So this isn't someone that's going to dominate all of your time or demand all of your time. They want you to enjoy your time in life and with your other relationships, and they respect the importance of those other relationships. And, if you're waiting to meet this person, they want you to just live life and find joy and enjoyment in your life, because they're going to be there. You're not going to miss out on them. They're not going anywhere. This is like a very stable energy that's sort of meant to be. And of course, it's like a timing thing, but you're not meant to slow down and wait. You're meant to enjoy life, celebrate, do the things that are important to you, plan for your future, with or without someone in it, work on your security and your feelings of stability, and not worry about when or if this is going to happen, because it is. There's like it feels defined in some way, like there's already a plan in place for a coming together, and that all you need to do is enjoy your life. You don't need to figure this out. And also, I have the sense that this other person is going to find you. They're going to spot you. They're going to come up to you. Somehow, they're coming toward you, and you don't need to worry about finding them. And so I think this person just wants to reassure you that you're not doing anything wrong, that everything has its time and place, that there is a plan in place for both of you to come together, and that in the meantime, just have fun, And I think that's really all I have for you, Group 1. I hope this was helpful. If you liked this reading, please do like and subscribe. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. I'm so happy you're here, and I will see you soon. Bye. Hi, Group 2. You chose the Tarot of the Witch's Garden and this piece of garden quartz. We are doing a soulmate reading today, a reading on your next major partner. And I'm going to get into shuffling these cards, and we are going to go over what we're looking at today. Okay, so we will look at what this person is like. We will look at what they might look like. What will they be like with you? What are you like together? What draws you to them? What do you like about them? What do you not like as much? What do they like about you? And finally, what is something that they want you to know? Okay. Okay, what is this person like? What is Group 2's soulmate or next major partner like? Okay, we have the Hanged Woman. We have the Nine of Pentacles. We're going to do one more. And we have the Hierophant. As soon as I even started filming this group, I started feeling a calmer energy. So I think not that the last group wasn't calm, but there's something much calmer here. So I think that this person has a really calming effect on other people, or they are quite calm themselves. This is someone who might meditate or have a spiritual practice of some kind, or they have always been this way, perhaps. And especially, with the Hanged Man card here, or the Hanged Woman in this case, it feels like this person has a spiritual connection of some kind. So it feels like either they are very spiritually connected, they're very connected to the earth, or they are very connected with themselves. I definitely think this person does enjoy time in nature to some degree. They may like being around water, but especially calmer water, like lakes or smaller bodies of water. And this has kind of swampy vibes. They may come from, so they either really like that energy, or they come from a place like that. Like they may come from the American South, in one of those areas that has this kind of like I can't remember what they're called, but the plants that kind of drip from the trees, or a place with weeping willows, or with like swampland of some kind. They may or may not. That is very specific. I mean, there's a lot of areas this person could be from, actually. So, I mean, with the wine here, it's making me think of like Northern California or Spain or Italy or something like that. So I wouldn't tie it to this, but this person definitely seems to have a connection to nature and to animals, I think, possibly. So either, and they could be really good with plants, but I feel like more they like spending time in nature and in quiet nature. And I think that they have some kind of connection to the natural realm, to animals. Like maybe they communicate with animals, or they feel very safe around animals, or animals feel safe around them. Even for some people, even like dangerous animals or animals other people would avoid, this person doesn't feel the need to do that because they have some kind of like, their energy is very relaxed and open and natural in some way that is really lovely, very comforting to be around. I wouldn't be surprised if kids are also drawn to this person. I think many people are drawn to this person's energy, but in some way their energy might be intimidating to some people or to adults, not to everybody, but I think that because they have a calmness to them, that can be intimidating for some people who have very opposite energy, or who are not, they may think that this person is kind of a snob or something like that. Like that's what I'm sort of getting. And so there's an intimidation there. I don't think this person is snobby at all. I think that they're just unbelievably calm, or they have a really calming effect. And to some people, this effect isn't going to be there because some people have, their own internal issues, I want to say. And so they perceive someone calm as, snobby or something. This person may be sort of quiet. I don't think that they are the most talkative or chatty. I don't think that they're like constantly laughing. I don't think this person is the life of the party. I think they're introverted sort of because of their sensitivities and the way that they are and the way that they interact with the world. This is a really unique individual in that way. They may have like a pet that is unusual, or they have had pets that are unusual. There's a gentleness to them. And it's just really calming for the people that are drawn to them. And again, I feel that there are a lot of people that are not drawn to them, but the people that are love this person's energy. I don't think that they are show-offy, but I think that they are confident in themselves. I think, there's a relaxed way that they are in the world. And they may even say that that's not true. Like internally, they are more chaotic or something, but you might have a hard time believing that just because of how they are. I think their voice might be very gentle, very soothing in some way. What might this person look like? Okay, we have the Fool and the Nine of Cups. Well, I mean, this is very specific, so it won't be for everybody, but both of these individuals have this long, almost bleach blonde white hair. So it is very possible that this person will have blonde hair, long hair, very, very light fair hair, or they may have very fair skin. They could have an unusual color of hair, like it's been bleached and colored another color. Again, what I want to say is what these people look like, they may look nothing like these descriptions. This question, out of all of the questions, I would take with a grain of salt. This may be someone who has sort of like they almost look like a fairy or an elf in some way. Like they have this kind of otherworldly, ethereal presence. They may have very delicate features or delicate hands. They may be thin. They may look unusual in some way. And again, I'm feeling this very gentle energy. And so I think that their looks sort of portray this. Like they don't look mean, mad, overly serious. There's a sort of a gentleness even to the way that they look, but they sort of look otherworldly, or even they may look even alien in some way. This may be someone who has a very distinct sense of style. And there's so much green here too. Maybe their favorite color is green. Maybe they're wearing green when you meet them. Maybe they sort of blend in with nature in some way because they're so in tune with nature. And it almost feels like they were like a fairy that like became a person. If they wear makeup, their makeup might even be sort of unusual. They may have features that are sort of unusual. Like for some reason, I'm seeing like eyes that are wider set than normal, or, pointier ears, or just there's something about their face or their features that is really delicate and also really quite unique. It's almost like, it's like they emerged from nature and became a person. It's like somehow it seems like they're from another planet or something. They don't look like everybody else, but I think that they are very attractive, and that uniqueness is really attractive. And I think that they draw a lot of eyes, definitely, when they are in public. I think that even if people like aren't attracted to them in a conventional sense, people look at them because it's like they look different, but in a way that is just intriguing. Like they draw the eye. But I don't think they necessarily, they definitely draw judgment from some people, but I think some people, if they're taking a walk and someone's sitting and just watching the people go by, they can't help but watch this person keep walking by because they're like, wow, look at that person. I think when you look at them, there's like a sense that like they can take care of themselves, but you also sort of want to protect them and take care of them because they seem like a flower in some way. And like, if you're wanting to be with someone very like, sturdy and masculine, for example, I don't know that this person is that. If it is a man, I think that there is a masculine quality, but I think man, woman, or non-binary, this person has a gentle feminine energy to them. And, everyone has masculine and feminine, but somehow they are very like in tune in a way with like nature and possibly emotions and their sensitivity. That's really beautiful. What will this person be like with you? What are you like together? Six of Pentacles. Temperance. And the Emperor. Okay, what will this person be like with you? We're looking at the Six of Pentacles. I think that they will be very general, or not general, generous, but gentle. Yeah, gentle and generous. So their calm energy continues to exist, but it's sort of like they are warmed up when they are with you. So they might seem a little bit aloof to people or when you first meet them, but with you, they are less aloof and they are more real and themselves. And you can, they're less like a fairy floating around, and they are more of a real person somehow. Like it's, they're more open, more warm. And I think that you find them very attractive. And I think that they seem a lot more grounded and stable when you are with them. There is still this, like, all of the qualities we saw before are still here. And I think that their in tuneness with nature or animals or plants or whatever is something that they share with you. And they teach you the things that they know. Like if they are really good with animals or with languages or something, they bring some of that knowledge to you and they share that knowledge with you. I think that they are very reciprocal with their give and take, and they are very, very giving and generous, but there is also an expectation that you would be generous and kind in some way. But I don't think that's necessarily in the same way. Like there's something unique about their skills, their talents, or the way that they are that they share with you. And you would share with them in another way, a way that is unique to you. Yeah, I think you learn a lot from them. And they're happy to teach you. And I think it just comes naturally the way they are in the world, because they're not the type of person who will hold back or feel that like they need to keep information to themselves or like keep their secrets. They're very happy to share them. And it's very easy for them to share their knowledge and their wisdom and who they are and their skills with you. And yeah, they're very like... I can see like blushing. Like I think they're very, very attracted to you, and it sort of makes them blush and like makes them a little bit nervous in a way that you normally wouldn't see, because they can seem sort of aloof and like lost in their own world. But with you, there is a little bit of like, there's crush energy of like, they find you very attractive. And so they want you to like them. They want you to see them positively. And so they may even like, they want to make themselves look even better to you. So it's almost like I want to say they show off in some way with you. They try to look extra good. They try to like all of their naturally wonderful qualities. They try to sort of like make them bigger so that you will definitely see. And they really want you to like them. They want you to see them as attractive. They want you to see them as like real and authentic and good. And I think their gentleness is always there, but with you, their whole person is present. They let all of their energy be known, like good and bad. And so they seem more like a real person in some way. For some reason that keeps coming through. What do you like together? You're very different from one another. And I'm not surprised, because this person has a very specific energy, and you also have a specific energy. So even though we see a woman here and a man here, that does not mean you are a man and this is a woman, or vice versa. There can be any gender here. But again, this person, your soulmate or your next partner, they have a femininity to them, or their feminine energy is pronounced, or it's obvious in some way. And in some way, your masculine energy is very present. So again, you could be a very feminine woman, and this could be a very masculine man, but something about their femininity is very obvious, and something about your masculinity is very obvious. So you might be, I think that you are kind of like, and this isn't necessarily masculine, but you are more grounded in reality and more like stable and secure in some way, that this person is a little more floaty, if that makes sense. They're a little bit more spiritual and in imagination and daydream, or they have a certain flow, whereas you're a little bit more solid in how you are and who you are. And I think together there's a really good balance here, because you might draw these qualities out in one another, or just provide balance for the other, so that neither one of you gets too like lost or too stubborn. I think you're also possibly really good with children and animals in some way. I think you also really respect and enjoy nature. It's almost like your personality or something is a little bit more defined, or you're a little bit more like left-brained, like kind of like rational and logical, or you have a more fiery, passionate energy. Like you might be the one who's a little bit better at plans and making plans, and like having stronger opinions about things and beliefs about things. You might be a little bit more outspoken, or you might be more like, again, stubborn in some way, and not in a negative way. There's something more solid about you than about them. There's something very floaty about this person's energy, and you're a lot more solid, and that can be so many different things. But I think what you do for them is like, so how you are together, you kind of bring them down to earth in some way. Even though they might be very connected to nature, it feels like they're up here and you're down here. And not that they're better, but just you're in, like, they're kind of floaty and you're more on the ground. And so I think that there's a grounding quality that you have on them, and they are also able to like bring you into another space where you can be more like open-minded, or your energy opens up in some way. There's an interesting balance between you where you're very different and it goes together really well. It's almost like two ingredients you don't think would be good together in a dish, but like they're the best together. It's like when salty and sweet are paired, like chocolate covered potato chips or like something like that. Like you're the potato chip and they're the chocolate. Like, I don't know. It's something like things that aren't normally together, but they work so well together that it's like addictive. The lens with which you view the world is very different. Your perspectives about people and the world are very different. Not that, not completely different where you disagree on everything, but it's really cool because when you come together, you can help one another understand things from a different point of view because your points of view are so different. And that this might be because of the way you grew up, the family that you grew up in, the place that you grew up in. It can be the lives you've lived, just who you are as people. And so you help one another understand different points of view, which opens up your ability to see and to accept things that formerly maybe you couldn't accept or you judged. I think that your communication is really interesting, and I think that you both get a lot out of the way the other person sees the world and sees things and perceives things and feels things. But I still sense this gentle, easy energy. And so I think that what you are like together also is infused with this really gentle, easy energy. And it's really beautiful. It's really comforting to spend time in. It's really lovely. It's very daydreamy in some way. What draws you to this person? What do you like about them? Nine of Wands. Seven of Cups. So what draws you to this person? There seems to be some kind of fearless quality. And I think that you can kind of tell that right away because of the way they look and present themselves or something like that. There's a sort of a fearlessness to them, or they don't mind standing out, or they don't mind being apart from the crowd in some way. You're drawn to them because of uniqueness in their energy and how they are, how they seem, and how they don't seem scared of the same things that other people are scared of for some reason. This person may still have anxiety. They may be scared of some things, but somehow they are not weighed down by the weight of the world in the way a lot of people are, because I think they do have such a different perspective. And so, for example, if everyone around you is very unnerved because of like things going on politically or in your society or in your city or your country or your community, something like that, this person is like on a different level. Like, it's not that they don't care about what might be going wrong, but they are sort of concerned about different things. Like they either take action to change things, they focus on what they do have control over. They certainly care about other people and and like the rights of other people. They care about the underdog. They care about things going well, but they are not weighed down or like it's not that they're unconcerned, but they are less concerned in some way. It's like you're drawn to them because their energy is lighter and brighter. And while they are not ignoring the things that are happening and they're not ignoring other people, they focus on, again, what they do have control over, what they can change. They focus on the positives in some way. I think this is really attractive to you or interesting to you, especially if you also feel this way, or even if you don't have this ability. It's very intriguing because it's like, oh, I could learn from you. I could learn from this. It's not that you're putting your head in the sand. It's that you are focusing on what feels actually controllable or important in this moment. And you're not doing things because other people, like this person doesn't do things just because other people do, not at all. This person really lives life by the beat of their own drum. And I think they can't even help it. It's not a conscious choice. It's how they've always been. It's how they always will be. And what else do you like about them? I mean, first of all, you like all the things I previously mentioned about this person, but you're also drawn to their multidimensionality. So this person isn't one thing. They are so many things, and they have the ability to see so many perspectives, I think. And I think that's part of why certain energies are drawn to them, because they have a level of empathy, sensitivity, and understanding for the world, for other people, for other thoughts and opinions and beliefs that is really attractive to you, because they're so open-minded and so understanding. And I think that they also help you to understand perspectives that may have been closed to you previously. This person definitely helps you learn things about yourself and others, and they open your mind, and they're also open-minded to change their opinions and beliefs, even based on the things that you say and tell them. I think that you really like how in tune they are with the things that they are in tune with: spirituality, nature, animals, something like that. They seem to just know things like inherently about, like, if it's nature that they are in tune with, it's like they didn't even need to read a book. They just know things about plants already. It's like they look at a plant and they're like, you're a medicinal plant and you're good for this. It's like they have inherent knowledge about things that is really interesting. I think that they are really, not only are they beautiful in some way, and their energy is beautiful in some way, but their surroundings are made to be beautiful. The way they dress their clothing is beautiful in some way. The way they present, the way their life is. It's, again, I feel this really gentle, calming energy, and I think it's very calming for you. I don't think that you're normally this calm, and I feel that I keep being infused with this calming energy because this is the effect this person has on you. And I also feel it in my chest and in my heart, and it's like, I don't know what your previous relationships have been like, if you've had previous relationships, but I think that they have felt more chaotic or heavy or stressful in some way. But this is ease. This is so like light and easy. It's like you have no choice but to be light and easy. And that doesn't mean it's how it is every second of every day with them. But I think overall it lifts something in you. It like lifts out some old pain, or it just makes you feel more open and light. And I think that that's something you like about them, their effect on you, their effect on others. I feel that they might be very quiet. I don't think that this person talks a lot. They may prefer quiet. They have a deep knowledge about things that you didn't previously know much about or understand. They're willing to share that knowledge, but also I think that they spend a lot of time internally with themselves in the quiet. So that's why I said earlier they might meditate or something like that. It's like I almost don't even want to talk because it feels contrary to their energy right now. And so I think what that is saying is that they bring a quiet to you. Like if you think a lot, you talk a lot or your energy feels heavy or chaotic, I think that they bring a lightness and a quietness to you. I don't think that's all the time. I just think sometimes that's there and it's coming through because you like that. You really like that about them because it brings a calm to you that you may have struggled to access before. There's a peace here, a harmony, a lightness of being. What do you maybe not like as much? Okay, we have the Six of Wands and the Four of Pentacles. I think at times this person may get a lot of attention, whether they mean to or not. And I wonder if sometimes that is frustrating or you feel like they're putting more attention toward other people or other things than toward you. And like, you know, they may get really passionate about something and I feel that you might feel you're ignored in some way. Or sometimes I wonder if even though you like the way they are, sometimes that can feel contrary to how you are and it can make you feel like worse about yourself in some way. Like you feel like you are too stubborn or too stuck in your ways, or you might feel like you care too much about planning or security or like the future, and that they don't enough. And that might be a little bit frustrating. You might feel like they get more attention than you in some way. And like, while you may not want to feel bad about that, it may bother you. It may feel like your old news are not important and that they're more exciting in some way. You might feel like, I wonder if they keep old lovers in their life in some way that is very specific and that bothers you and you don't like it. Or maybe it could be that they are younger than you and you feel old sometimes in comparison and you don't like that. You could feel like sometimes they have this like way of being or this mindset that is so like far in the future somehow and you're stuck in the past. I think that in some way this can bother you a little bit. I don't think that it's like you don't like it or you hate it so much as there's some insecurity that seems to come forward a little bit because of how different this person is and how they are perceived and how you feel about yourself at times. You may feel like you're not always getting as much attention from them as you would like. And sometimes that attention is going toward other people or other things. Or they may even have like a public facing job in some way. And so they have to interact with a lot of people you don't know. And something about that kind of bothers you because you want to know who's involved. All these things could be true or some of them could be. It's something like this though. And I think it makes you feel a little bit frustrated actually with yourself more so than them, because I think that you actually really love the way that they are in the world and with other people and the things that they do and the ways that they change and transform and morph as you know them. But I think you get more frustrated with yourself. And I think that sometimes you feel like you are stuck in your ways and you may worry that they will leave you. And that's not what I see happening. What I'm feeling is that these are feelings and thoughts that you're having. It feels more like it's mental, more so than it's real. I think that you might have sometimes a perception of things that are happening that are, your perception is a little bit more dramatic than what's actually happening. And so your body has sort of a dramatic response to that as well. And it almost shuts down a little bit. So I really don't think that it's the biggest deal in the world. But what I think is that what you don't like more often than not is how it draws insecurities out of you and makes you feel things about yourself that you don't like. But I don't think that what you're feeling about yourself is true. I think that you're getting in your head. What does this person like about you? Wheel of Fortune. Hermit. We're going to get one more. And the Two of Wands. Okay, the first thing that I'm getting is that they like that you are willing to learn and grow, and that you do learn and grow. And that you might feel like you are stubborn, or that you don't move forward, or that you don't have that same flow that they seem to have. But I think that they actually do sense the flow within you. And I think that they like discovering all your complexities, because I think that for some reason, I'm getting that you might think you're like one note in some way, but they see you see them as so multifaceted, but they see you the same way in a different way. I think that they're very curious about the ways that you are different from them. And I think that they love hearing stories about you as a child. And like, even if they are really into animals, they like hearing about pets that you've had. I think that they like hearing about the different seasons of your life, the different cycles of your life, the ways that you have changed, the things that you've gone through. I think they're very fascinated by your past and your stories and the things that you say. And I think because their energy can be very quiet, they really like to listen. And I think that they really like to listen and hear you speak. I think that while you might talk more than them and you might be more passionate in some way, in that way, there's a gentleness to the way you talk to them, or the way that you tell your old stories. And even if you're not used to talking about your past or talking about how you felt in the past, I think they really love hearing that, and it sort of draws it out of you. And their intrigue and the way that they listen to you and hear you and want to hear more brings out this part of you even more. They're fascinated by every aspect of you, definitely by your past. They want to know, they want to understand you at every part of your life. They want to understand like little you and teenager you. And like, they're fascinated by you, by your history, by who you are, what makes you tick, what makes you the person that you are, what is always the same about you, what the core about you is. It's like they are trying to they want to understand, and they're putting the pieces together as you tell them stories. And I think that they love your stories. They love hearing about you. And the you that they know now is not the only you that has ever existed. And they want to know every you that has ever existed, even if they can't go back in time and be with that you. They want to understand on a deep level who you are. And I just feel like my heart blooming, like understanding you makes them feel this huge amount of love for you. If you are a planner, you think about the future and that stuff, I think that they really like that. They find it, it's not even necessarily that they find it grounding so much as it's another aspect of you that they just enjoy, because they think that they're endlessly fascinated by you. And I kind of feel like you think you're a little bit boring, or you're not that interesting. And like, this person is so interesting, why would they be interested in you? I don't know if that's the case, but there's something there where you're a little bit insecure. But let me tell you, this person thinks you are fascinating. And you might be like, why do they want to hear this story again? It's like really not that interesting. But to them, it's like this person loves the details, and they love to they will look at a leaf that fell from a tree, and they will inspect every vein, and they will turn it over, and they will look at every aspect of it. That's how they feel about you. You are a fascinating creature who is entirely different from them. And because they are into you specifically, because they love you so much, they want to know it all. They love the details. They really love the details. And so the way that you are, in ways that may feel like boring, to them, it's not boring. Trust me. What they also like is they feel like you are a light in the dark, like in this Hermit card. They feel that, you brighten their life, and where there was darkness previously, you bring light. And they also feel like you have wisdom to share. You have things that are important to be heard and to be shared, and they learn from you as well. I think that they feel very safe with you, and they are able to be innocent in some way with you. Like maybe you bring that out of one another or you bring it out of them. And it's something that they kind of always have, but it feels safe to be vulnerable with you. I think that they really like that they feel safe with you. And they can let out qualities that other people may have not liked about them or judged in them, because I feel they can feel that you are that you love them too, and that you love things about them. And so they feel safe letting those qualities be seen and letting them out. They do feel like a stabilizing force within you. So they feel that you are protective, or that you will protect them or take care of them in some way if they need it. They feel that your ability to like plan or provide in some way is really comforting to them. Even if that's you, like you can cook or something, whatever it is that you provide in relationship to others is something that they really are grateful for, and that calms them even further and brings another dimension into their life. Finally, what is something that they might want you to know? We have the King of Cups and the Knight of Cups. They want you to know that you're not so different after all. In some way, you have a similar vein of energy running through you. And while you may feel those differences, they feel it in you, and it's part of what you draw together. And I think that they will draw some of these aspects out of you as well. I think that your relationship together will bring out, the qualities that you already have that feel really positive, and the ones that they have that are different. They sort of merge together in a way where you bring out these things in one another. And again, I think they just want to assure you that there's nothing to be scared of or insecure about, because their love for you is going to be so pure. Their heart feels so like pure and innocent and open with you. And they may seem a little bit guarded at first. There's a seriousness or something. But they'll let it down as long as you are willing to let yours down as well. I think they definitely want to like swim into the depths with you. They want to go emotionally deep. And so they want you to know that it's going to be really, really safe to be yourself, to have your feelings, to verbalize them. And I think that, if you're waiting to meet this person, it would be a good idea to be very in touch with your emotional state if you're not already, and start to become very aware of how you feel, because this person is going to want that. They are going to sense your feelings. And so you really want to be able to be open to someone understanding you on that level if you haven't yet been open to that, because this person is going to understand things about you that other people can't see. And I don't think that you need to be worried about that at all. Just have an openness to someone seeing you in that way. It's a very like true way, a real way. I think that they want to assure you that you will be seen and felt and understood, and that if you have felt you haven't had that in the past, it's coming. I think that in some way this is a very spiritual bond. I don't know if that's in any kind of traditional sense. It doesn't feel like it, but somehow you will feel this spiritual connection, and there's something internal that feels so connected, like something gets plugged in, something you haven't experienced before. And I think they just want to tell you that, I don't know, they're just giving their energy to you. There's not much to say. I keep wanting to say things, but they don't want me to speak. I don't know why. So I might leave it here. Let me see if there's anything else that I want to say here. I do think this person is creative in some way. Yeah, I don't know. They don't want me to say anything else. So I won't. But I really hope that this connected with you. And if you did like this reading, please like and subscribe. I am happy to have been here with you, and I will see you soon. Bye, Group 2. Hi, Group 3. Welcome to your reading. You chose the Tarot of the Owls and this piece of Vanadinite. We are doing a reading about your soulmate, your next major partner. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle these cards. We are going to talk about what we're looking at today. And so what we're going to look at is what this person is like, what they might look like, what they will be like with you, what you will be like together. We'll look at what draws you to them and what you like about them. And we will look at what you might not like as much about them, what they like about you, and then finally, what is something that they might want you to know. Let's get into it. So, Group 3's soulmate, next major partner, what are they like? What is this person like? We've got the Page of Wands, the Page of Pentacles. It's 2 pages. We're going to get one more. And the 6 of Pentacles. Okay, there's a few things. So right away with these pages, it is possible this person could be younger than you. It's not for sure, but they could also have a really youthful energy. So they could be very energetic. They could be playful. They could have an innocence to them in some way. They could be a bit of like a jokester. There's something about them, not childish, but childlike, whether or not they are your age. This is someone who is very curious. Yeah. I definitely feel an energy with this person. They're intrigued. They pay attention to people. They're interested in other people and in things. They may have a lot of hobbies or interests. They might read a lot. They may listen to a lot of podcasts. They may travel a lot, or they like to be moving in some way. But they are very curious, and I think they are curious about other people. I think that this person really likes to learn, and whether they are taking classes or they really like to be in school and they keep getting like more and more degrees or something, or I think that for most people, they just like to read a lot or absorb knowledge, and I keep getting podcasts. I think that this person really loves learning and loves knowledge, and I don't think that they mind being a beginner really at all. They may go through phases, like their core self remains the same, but in some way they decide to try a totally new style, or like, they're like, you know what? I'm going to start wearing this kind of hat, like for some reason this hat is making me think that, or like, they're like, I'm going to wear scarves this year, or I'm going to change. They change like something about their appearance or like the way that they present themselves in some way. They just like decide to try things, whether or not it's trendy. They may think they set trends. I actually don't know if that's true based on what I'm seeing here, but like, I think that they don't mind how they are perceived, because I think that they are perceived pretty well overall. I think that this is someone who's like pretty well liked, and so it doesn't harm them to try something new or unique, because they're like, whatever, like everyone kind of just accepts them as they are. I think with all the learning they do, they are also very happy to give what they've learned and their knowledge to others. I don't think that they are a gatekeeper in any kind of way, or if someone is interested in something they're interested in or that they've learned about, they're happy to tell people all about it. And I think, yeah, they love to gain knowledge and give knowledge. If they are not younger than you, they may also work with kids in some way or be good with kids in some way. For some people, I'm seeing like an actual like teacher, and their curiosity will never end for their whole life. I think it's really cool. I think they do have a strong sense of, I wanted to say self, but I think it's confidence, actually. I think this person can come across very confident whether or not they feel it. Like their core is very confident. And like I said, the core of them is the same, but something about their kind of like either their appearance or the way that they are in some ways, like they kind of try on different things and they try them out. And so they may seem different in some ways to people, or people perceive them a little bit differently, because it's not that they don't have a defined sense of self that just changes because they're around other people. It's just that they're so curious and interested in things that they're kind of trying things on. Like it's almost like they're trying on clothes. They're still the same person, same body, but they may look very different when they come out of the dressing room. Do you know what I mean? I think this person is, again, really generous with knowledge. I get a lot of knowledge with this person, which is interesting because you would think it would be the Page of Swords, but for some reason, these energies they're so curious about the world and learning, and they love to interact with people. I would say this person does feel a little bit more extroverted. They may not be, but I think that they come across that way, especially when they're talking about something they're interested in, because they get pretty excited, or when someone else is talking about something they're interested in, they are like focused on that person because they're absorbing the knowledge because they're so interested and excited about it. Even things they weren't previously interested in, I think other people's passion for things incites something within them and lights them up. I think that they love other people's passion too, even when it's not something that they might pursue learning further about. They do seem quite communicative, like they like to talk and they like to have conversations, maybe even debates at times. I don't think that they're the type they don't seem like the type that's wanting to constantly debate everything or argue about everything. I don't get that energy, but they like to have conversation, communication, and they're very open to hearing people's ideas. And I think that they have a lot of ideas of their own, and that they may be quite creative. And like when other people have ideas, they'll expand on those ideas. What might this person look like? Queen of Swords. And the Eight of Wands. Again, I'm sort of getting teacher vibes for some people. So this person, like as youthful as they are, they may at first look teachery in some way. And I think I told the other groups, take this question especially with a grain of salt, because while we are reading energies where a lot of this could connect, what someone looks like, I mean, energies can be very similar and they can look very different. So just take it with a grain of salt. This person could have like an intensity to their face and their expressions where the way they look at you or whatever they are paying attention to is sort of intense, not in a scary way, but like their focus is on what they're paying attention to. They are zoned in. With this desert scene, I'm thinking that it's possible that this person could have like a Southwestern vibe. So they could wear clothes or accessories that you would find in the American Southwest. So this could be like they're wearing turquoise rings, or like Native American-esque things, or like they may dress very like Western or like cowboy in some way, or like cowgirl. They might. I'm just, again, we don't know for sure, but that's coming out at me. I'm also, for some reason, seeing like t-shirts with like landscape scenes on them. While they may have a seriousness to the way that they look at first, I think that you can see like a glint in their eye. There's like a playful quality that's always there. Some of these people have very like a professional appearance, but there's a uniqueness again for some reason. And I think I got this for group 1 too. There's a uniqueness. I mean, there was a uniqueness in group 2 too, but like the way that they dress, because I think that they mix things up and try things out, whether or not they are fashionable. It's possible that this person could be shorter in stature or like stout in some way, but I'm also like, I'm seeing so many different things in my mind. Like I'm seeing very feminine, very masculine, very androgynous. So I think there are just too many energies here, to define what the person would look like. But what I will say is they have an intense focus and a playfulness to them, but all the other things could or could not be true. What will this person be like with you, and what are you like together? Queen of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles. And the Nine of Cups. Okay, so what will they be like with you? We have the Queen of Pentacles. So I think this curiosity certainly extends to you. They're very curious about you. But I think that they are a little bit calmer with you than they may seem in the external world. And not that like you're not interesting enough for them to be energetic, but they are able to calm down with you. They are able to sort of be more relaxed because they're able to be themselves. I think they really appreciate that. I think you might see a side of them that is like, they're more honest with you, I think. So I think that when they're like annoyed with someone or something, they're going to tell you all about it. Whereas like the way that they are in the world, they don't want to drag people down, and they know that you're willing to listen to them, and you seem to be like a rock for them in some way. And so or you're like patient with them in some way. So they're able to relay the truth of how they feel and how they perceive things. In some way, they feel very rich with you, very wealthy with you. So, it can always be about money, but I think that more so than that, they feel you bring a wealth into their life. So maybe you bring a wealth of a different kind of knowledge because that's something that they really appreciate, or you just bring... they feel rich by knowing you, by having you in their life. They feel that their life is bigger, more abundant, more safe, more stable, more secure, more comforting, more beautiful in some way. They feel like they can rely on you. They feel like you're going to be there when they need somebody. So I think with you, they are far more relaxed in some way. It's almost like they can get kind of sleepy with you. Like this person can seem so like energetic and almost all over the place. But with you, it's like they're sleepier or they're more tired. And I don't want you to think that's a bad thing, because it's really more that they can fully relax and be at ease, and they don't have to be so intensely involved with the world. But it doesn't mean that the world ceases to disappear. There's still a curiosity and an interest. But it's nice, I think, for them sometimes to just focus on you and the relationship. And as far as what you're like together, I think that you grow together. So not only do you learn as individuals and people and as a couple, and you grow and you mature and you become better, and it happens in a really natural and a way that it's just really natural and it just happens over time. Sometimes it can feel like a bit of work, but overall, I think you just really appreciate how much you grow and learn together. And it's really calming. I think there's a very calm energy between you because there's a lot of stability and trust between you. It's like you know how to nourish and nurture one another and the relationship. And it's an easy pairing because while you might be different on the surface or in the world, I think together there's quite a bit of a harmonious and equal feeling. I think that you both are very willing to share with one another, not only your knowledge and what you know and your wisdom, but your material world. So your money or your home or your affection. And I think you're willing to share your feelings and your thoughts and your ideas with one another. And where you each feel secure, that bonds you together and makes you feel even more secure together. This feels very long-term and stable. I think that like you allow this person to be their interesting, playful, unique self in a way that's very grounded and relaxing. And yeah, I feel a lot of like reliable, dependable, that kind of energy, supportive. You're really supportive with one another and you're supportive of, I think, this person's like whims because sometimes they're like, I want to try this or I want to do this. And you're like, yeah, I'm here for you. I love you the same no matter what. I really do think that there will be a financial security somehow. Like I don't know if you will be wealthy or not, possibly, but no matter what, I think that there's a comfortability in your finances and what you have materially, your home. There's a sense of safety between you and comfortability. Yeah, and I really think that you allow this person to express themselves however they want to express themselves, and you still see them as the same person. And so it allows them to try things on, like I said, without feeling like they're going to lose love or they're going to be seen as weird or something. You're like, yeah, do whatever you want. I love you just the same. And you allow them to find themselves in what works best for them, because I think that possibly you have a more stable sense of self. Again, I don't think that they don't, but you are more... You may like always dress the same. You may always present yourself the same way, something like that. And this person's a little bit more changeable. But again, it's just like the outer shell. It's not who they are is always the same. What draws you to this person? What do you like about them? Two of Swords. Seven of Cups. Knight of Pentacles. I'm actually going to get another one. And the Four of Cups. Okay. You know what I'm going to do? These are driving me crazy. Okay. So what draws you to this person? I think on the one hand, you really like their expression of themselves and how they are sort of changeable or unique in some way, and also how much knowledge they have, how many things they are interested in. I think that in some way they're kind of always changing their mind with both of these cards. So I don't think it's like they change their mind on like you or people or like big things. But again, it's more like they are willing to try new things, willing to learn new things, willing to change their mind about things in a way that is something that draws you in because they're not stuck. This person doesn't, even though the Two of Swords sometimes can be like a stuckness and an inability to move forward, what I'm getting more here is that they are willing to change their mind. They're willing to see things differently. They're willing to consider things differently. And even though they may change things about themselves or try things on, they are not necessarily impulsive. So I think that that's something that you like about them, is that they're open-minded and they're willing to go in different directions and learn different things. And they're very open to people, they're open to ideas, they're open in some way that draws you in and that you find really interesting about them, because at their core, they do seem to have a stability, a stableness to them that you also have. And so I think that you really like their energy, but that they have a willingness and an openness to change and to the world. And, but that doesn't mean they just change because someone says something, or they change because, it's like they still consider. They definitely can take their time to consider things. And I think that you're very drawn to all the different aspects of them. You're drawn to all the things that they have knowledge in, that they're interested in, the way that they present themselves, the way that they are. There's all these things about them that you find intriguing. I do still think that your energy is kind of calm in some way. And I think this person would definitely be kind of the more extroverted of you two. And the more chatty, or the one that spends more time with the public. I think that you're also charmed by if they do dress differently or try something new with their appearance. And I think that most of the time it isn't that fashionable or something. And I think that you find that really charming and sweet. In some way during this reading, I have felt like I have this feeling like there's not a lot to say. And so that is making me think that when you come together, there's not a lot to discuss. There's sort of an understanding between you two that happens very quickly. Something about your energy or the way that you are with one another, there's an ease. It's not super hard to understand the other. I think that you accept one another very quickly, that your similarities are very easy, and your coming together is very easy. And I think that there's not dramatics here, or not that there isn't passion, but there's not over the top passion where it's too much. It's there's very long-term comfy energy here, and a quick and easy understanding. And so I keep thinking there's not much to say, because there isn't, in some way, when you come together. And that doesn't mean that you're not communicative, because I do see a lot of chatting and ideas being shared. And I see both of you sitting in chairs, just chatting, and even drinking a hot beverage, maybe sitting by a fire, you have books next to one another or something like that. Cause I kind of get the feeling you both like to learn, you both like to read or something. And so I want to say that, but also, what do you like about this person? Again, so much of the same energy. You like that they're willing to try things and to move forward. You like their playfulness and their youthfulness and their childlike wonder and energy, but you also like that they know what they don't like in a way. They know what they don't want, and they're not willing to try things just because people offer them to them. They do things because they are interested, because they want to do what they want to do. And so they're very open-minded and open to things, but it's because they are following the thread of joy. And so when they are curious and interested in something, and they sense passion in something, they will follow it, and they will move toward those things, but they won't accept anything just because it comes their way. They do have discernment in some way. And I don't know if I said that before, but I was picking up on that before. And so I think that you really like that about them too. You like that they are so curious and so willing to try things, but that they also know who they are, and that they are intuitive enough to always go with their gut and what excites them. And I think that you really love that they have a passion and an excitement for life and knowledge, and that they follow what is interesting to them specifically. What do you not like as much about them? the Wheel of Fortune, and the Five of Swords. I think sometimes for some reason you have a difference of opinion and it can cause a little bit of a tussle, like a little bit of a fight, not a huge thing. But I think you get kind of frustrated sometimes when you guys disagree because it doesn't feel good and you don't want that to happen. And I think that sometimes I think that they come in a little bit hot in a way that you don't really appreciate. And they can be very intense sometimes about their opinions or their ideas. I don't think this is all the time at all, especially because I sense such a calm and understanding energy between you. But I think sometimes they can be very focused on an idea or focused on something that they want or how they want you to change or something like that. And it can be a little bit frustrating because you want that calm energy. You do not want to fight. It doesn't feel good for you. It doesn't feel good in your body. It is stressful for you to have confrontation and to fight. And so you don't like that. And I think sometimes you wish that they would have that open-mindedness in a way that is more calming because you don't like having disagreements, but you're also not going to just back down because they feel a certain way. So I think sometimes when you have an argument or a disagreement, it feels really bad to you and wrong to you. But I also get the sense that it's not that dramatic. I think you just really hate conflict and disagreement so much, especially with someone you love and get along with so often, that really bothers you. And so I think what you don't really like is when these things happen because it's upsetting to you. And I think that you might be slower to process these things. And so it feels difficult to deal with. And I think you might really like stability and energy to sort of stay the same. And so when you go through cycles or things kind of feel a little bit up and down. And again, I don't get the sense that it's dramatic, but it kind of feels more dramatic to you because it feels upsetting to you. So I think that you don't really like that. I don't think that this has a strong bearing on your connection at all, but this is, if you feel upset about anything, it's this. And when this person feels like they're right in a way that you don't agree with, it is frustrating to you because it feels like they're trying to convince you or to force you to see their way. And I think that you feel a little frustrated with this and you might struggle to express your opinion or get what you want to say across in a way that's being understood. I think this kind of bothers you. Or maybe at times you feel like you're not being understood in some way just because you're going through something in your day to day or something and you don't feel like you're being taken seriously or you're being understood, whether or not you've expressed what's going on for you. And I think that's kind of frustrating for you as well. So I think really what it comes down to is there are sometimes these little misunderstandings or moments of disagreeing with one another or not seeing the other's perspective or something like that. And it just doesn't feel good. And I can feel it in my body. And so I think that you feel unwell when these things are happening and you don't like disagreements. What does your person like about you? We have the Fool. We have the King of Swords. And that's it. We're just going to do 2 for now. So in one way, they like that you like them for how they are. They like that you see things about them that they like in themselves and you like those things. But I think that they also, they like that you're willing to learn something new, that you are willing to try something new, that you are also interested in new knowledge. And I think that they really like your brain, the way that you think, analyze, process information, the clarity that you have about things. the way that you can see and express things very clearly. I kind of feel like you think that you don't express yourself clearly, like that you feel like you struggle to express things clearly. And if that's the case, they do not perceive that in you at all. They actually really love the way that you express yourself, the way that you vocalize your thoughts and the things that you think about. They really love learning from you, the knowledge that you have, the way that you perceive and see the world. They love how intelligent you are. I think you are both really, really smart people, and they see you as smarter than them. I'm seeing like, they think the way you do things is really like cute and funny. And it's just like how you normally would do something, but like, it's really sweet because, I don't know, like for some reason, it's like the way that you open a letter or the way that you shut a door. It's like these simple little things. The way you do it, you think is really normal, but they think it's really cute for some reason. And so it like makes them laugh a little bit. And, so they really like these little qualities of yours that they see as cute and different. And I think that your reaction to them, like laughing at it, they also really like, because it's like the way that you look at them, like, what are you even laughing at? I'm doing this normally. Or like you might even like sort of start laughing too. So they like these really little things about you, and it gives them these little bursts of joy. I think like them in some way, you are also willing to take certain risks. I don't think that you necessarily do to the degree that they do. I think you do it in a more calculated manner, but they really like and respect that about you, or your willingness to also see things differently and to learn. They really love to learn, to grow, to teach, and they love that you are also open to these things, and that these are somehow in your system of values as well. I don't know if you are, for some reason, the cracks in this throne here are making me think that you're good at fixing things or putting things back together. So I don't know if that's literally objects, like you're really good at fixing things that are broken, or you're very handy around the house, or you're good at like repairing relationships or something like that. And they really like your ability to fix and repair versus like, maybe they've encountered people who just throw things away, or they can't. In some way, you're able to do things yourself, and you're very independent and handy, or you're willing to work through things in some way that they really, really respect and they really, really like. I feel like they really think that you see them clearly. I think I said something else about this, but they like that you see them kind of the way they see themselves. They really love being seen. And I think that you see them more clearly than anyone else has. And it's really lovely for them to be perceived correctly in some way. It really feels like you have a handle on life in some way that they love. They really like that about you and really respect it about you. What is, finally, last question, what is something that they want you to know? Okay, we have the Four of Swords. For some reason, I think it wants to be here. And the Four of Pentacles. You know, with these being two fours, there's been so much matching energy in some way in this reading, which has felt, like I said earlier, very relaxing. There's an equality between you, an understanding between you, and stability, a reliability. Like you can really lean on one another and trust one another. And I think that happens very, very quickly. It's like, you just feel safe right away. Both of you feel safe. And with the four, there's a lot of safe and secure energy and like settled energy and feeling like a family and feeling comfortable with one another. And like, this is very long lasting. There's a lot of safety here. I think that they just want you to know that this feeling is between you, and that, if you continue to cultivate these feelings within yourself and your life, then it doesn't really matter when you come together. I almost feel like some people watching this group have already found this person, and you're already together because this is such settled energy. But if not, it's just going to come together so easily. There's nothing to worry about. There's nothing to think about. All you have to do is keep like living your life and being you, and they will do the same. And there's really no choice but to come together. And I think that they just want you to know that they feel so safe, so comfortable with you. There's nothing to ever really worry about. There's no anxiety. There's no fear. It feels restful. It feels safe. It feels like you have a firm foundation, a stable foundation, and that everything is just kind of working out for the best. They're just not worried about it, and they don't want you to be worried about it either. That's all. Like, I just really feel for this group that there's just not much to say. There's not much else to say. So I really think I'm just going to leave it there. Thank you for joining me. I hope this was helpful. If you did like the reading, please like and subscribe. But I hope you have a wonderful week ahead. I will see you soon. Bye, Group 3. Hi, Group 4. You chose the Pastoral Tarot and this pine cone. So we are doing a soulmate reading, a reading on your next major partner. And while I shuffle, I will tell you what we're going to look at today. So, what is this person like? What might they look like, possibly? What will they be like with you? What do you like together? What draws you to them? What do you like about them? What do you maybe not like as much about them? What do they like about you? And finally, what is something they might want you to know? So let's take a look. I've had this deck for a bit, but I haven't really used it. So we'll see how it goes today. So what is your person, your soulmate, like as a person? Okay. 2 of Wands. Judgment. Justice. For some reason, I want to get another one. And the 3 of Pentacles. Okay, what is this person like? This person feels very cooperative with others. And so I think they're kind of like out for everybody. Basically, like they want everyone to feel safe in the world. They want everyone to have rights. This person cares about the collective, all people as equals. I think that's very important to them. I don't know if they get really into politics or if they get really into causes and things like that. But I think that they really care about things being accessible to other people. This is someone who really does their best to see people equally. They very much could be religious or spiritually inclined. That's not for sure. That's not for everybody. But I think that they have a strong faith in something that is larger than themselves. I think they have a faith in humanity and our ability to become better and to work together. I think that they love working with other people on projects or in work or just in anything in life. I think that they really see the good in all people and they don't really want to condemn anybody for anything. But at the same time, with justice, there is probably a strong sense of wanting justice, but they want justice for all. They want everyone to have everything that exists. They want everyone to be able to experience what they want to experience in life and have the means to do so. They definitely care about the whole in a really positive way. I think this person also really appreciates beauty. They like to have beautiful surroundings. This person very well may fix up homes, or they take kind of like old things and make them new again. They may like interior design or design in some sense somewhere in their life. They may be an artist, they may create things, or they may like to do some type of crafting or growing. They may like gardening. Yeah, they definitely might like gardening. I mean, this is the pastoral tarot, so I'm not surprised to see this stuff, but they may like growing things. I think that they like creating in some way, whether that is traditional or not. And they certainly like to create with other people. And I think that whether or not they are religious or spiritual, they have this strong sense of connection to something greater than themselves. And that might even just be humanity as a whole, the world, the people in it. They feel a connection to something larger than them, and they have faith in it, and they sort of receive life energy from that in some way. They may really like herbs or herbal remedies, or they really like the smell of nature, or they like to have good smells in their home. They definitely they plan for the future in some way that involves other people. So whether that is their family, their neighbors and community, or the world as a whole, they really plan for a beautiful future. And they don't just think about themselves. I don't think this person ever really thinks about just themselves. They see themselves as part of the whole, and the whole matters. This is someone who, I don't want to say they're completely selfless, but they are not selfish. Not in the least. They definitely have a strong sense of community, and they care about community quite a lot. They care about the people in their life, and they care about the people around them. And they care a lot about people they don't even know. They really have this strong desire to have people feel safe, loved, wanted, and cared for in the world. They don't want anyone to go without. And I'm almost getting emotional because I think that some of the people they've helped have gotten very emotional by the love that they've given them. And it's interesting because while this person really has this strong sense of wanting equality for all, and in some ways they're very loving. It's just interesting because I don't feel like a huge heart energy. And it's not that they don't have an open heart, but how do I explain this? I don't know. It's like a belief system that's sort of like in their head and their body versus like they're doing this out of just a sense of love. They do love, but it's like they have a strong belief system around this. And I think that in some way it's their life's mission, either the work that they do for money, or whether they just, in their free time, this is what they care about. This is their passion in life, and they will stop at nothing to continue to help other people, to help their community, to enjoy life and their hobbies and the things that light them up. And they don't see anything as impossible. They don't see anything as unfixable. They think anything can be changed, anything can be fixed, and anything can get better. And this optimistic mindset has influenced countless people and will continue to do that for the rest of their life. This is definitely someone you would want in your corner. So let's see if we can get any information on what this person might look like. Five of Wands and the Hermit. You know, even though something about their surroundings and their life feel very colorful, I wonder if they dress in neutrals a lot. with these goats here, it's definitely possible they could be a Capricorn. I mean, that's not what they look like, but they might, this person might wear like vintage or thrifted clothes a lot. If they live in a cold climate, they may wear fur, or faux fur, or leather, or faux leather, that kind of thing, or suede. They may dress in like heavy clothing. They seem to dress in like neutrals or naturals, and it's like the way they dress doesn't seem to be very like colorful or out there. Even though for some reason I think that their home might be more colorful. For some reason, even though they're very like hopeful and they see the best in the world, I wonder if in some ways you think that they dress like an apocalypse is coming. I don't know why that's coming through. They may wear clothes they've had for many years because they value quality. They could have facial hair. For some people, this is someone who is in their 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. This isn't going to be for everyone, but I'm sort of feeling like 50s, 60s for some reason. For a lot of people here, this is someone who's lived some life. They might sort of look or dress like the other people they're around. So their community in some way looks a certain way and they sort of match that. This person may feel cold, with this winter scene. It's making me think that they like dress for the cold, and in some way they wear kind of like hardy clothing, or they get cold easily, and so they dress very warmly. They dress like they're gonna spend time in nature or something. Like they look like they're going camping, possibly. I mean, of course, these are very specific. They may not look that way, but that's what's coming through. They for some reason, they're like dressed for battle in some way. What will they be like with you, and what are you like together? The Emperor. Ten of Swords. Ace of Cups. Do we want to get one more? Yeah. Okay. And the Seven of Cups. Okay, so what will they be like with you? I'm hearing they rule the roost in some way. So I'm sort of seeing like they invite you into their home or you move in with them or something. And they sort of have like specific ways that they run their household. Even if they live alone, they have certain like rules or traditions or customs about how they want things to be done. And it's not necessarily in like a nitpicky, obnoxious way, but just they like things to be a certain way, I think. And I think that they trust you enough to let you in to see the way that they like things. And they may even make fun of themselves a little bit. Like, I know, okay, I need the cabinets to be shut like this. I have to. And they're very like specific and particular in certain ways with how they like things. And I don't think they're unwilling to change, but because they've let you into their life, you get to see how they are particular in some way. But I think they are very willing to listen to how other people want things done because, again, they care about the whole and they don't care only about themselves. But I think that you will see that they have certain habits or routines too that are very particular to them. And I think that they do a lot of things the way that they do them because they have learned that they work. And again, I think that if this person has lived quite a bit of life, they have certain things that work for them. But they let you into that. And they're very willing to see things another way and to do things that will be best for the both of you or best for all of you if you live with more people. They're not afraid to say what they think and what they mean or to express their opinions. But again, for some reason with the Seven of Cups, I keep feeling like they are open to alternative ways of seeing things, alternative ways of doing things, and that they are not stuck, but they may seem a little bit set in their ways because their ways have been a certain way for a long time or a good amount of time. Maybe they have been single for a while before you or something like that. But I think this person is very imaginative, and they may play their ideas off of you, or like their visions of the future or how things could be. I think that they trust you and they speak to you. They're very, they have no problem saying what's on their mind or on their heart. They have no problem expressing themselves. But I think that they have this life that has been sort of defined in some way. Like they have done the same things for a while. They have some kind of routine or structure or way that they do things. And this will be shown to you and expressed to you in some way. What do you like together? Well, this is where it becomes a little more like sweeter and romantic. So, we wouldn't necessarily want to see the Ten of Swords here because that can be a more devastating card, but I don't feel that energy here as I look at this particular Ten of Swords, and especially with this Ace of Cups here. So I think one thing with the Ten of Swords here is that even when things don't go right for both of you or one of you, the other one is right there at your side, building you up and helping you to remember that anything can be rebuilt. And I think especially this person will remind you of that because they are so good at finding the good in something and fixing things and making them better and more beautiful. And so I think if you start to feel down or you feel like something didn't go your way, they're like, no, I'm here for you and I'm going to lift you back up and we're going to do this together and it's going to be great. So I think that there's such a partnership feeling here because you lift one another up and you support one another, and there is a base of everlasting love. It's like a constantly flowing love that, is always there, always present, and is always available and visible to both of you. And so no matter what happens in life, you always feel supported and loved, and that there is always a flow between you, that there is like a life in this relationship between you. And when you are tired or when you are beat down or when they are, the other will lift you back up and like remind you of the magic of life again. And things that go wrong won't feel so bad. Yeah, I see possibly like someone experiences some health issues or something. It doesn't feel major, but it feels frustrating or stressful or like slows you down, something like that. Or something doesn't go well with a project or anything basically in life that would slow you down or frustrate you or make you feel like you're not making progress or moving forward or something. One or the other of you lifts the other person back up. So this is a really supportive relationship. And so what you're like together is you won't let the other one falter. You will let them feel what they need to feel, but you're not going to let you and this other person are not going to let one another descend into feeling too bad for yourself or descend into just things going too wrong and it feeling too bad, basically, because you're there to lift one another up. And so I think what you're like together is like you really continue to keep each other held accountable in some way for your happiness. You bring each other back to life, and there's just a lot of support here. What draws you to this person? And then, whoops, that's too many. And then what do you like about them? You know what? I keep feeling like I need to do this. We're just going to get these out of the way. Okay. What draws you to this person? And what do you like about them? That's too many again. Maybe you like a lot of things about them. Okay, Three of Wands, the Sun, Temperance, and the Hanged Man. So what draws you to them is their optimism, their hope, their zest for life and for other people, their ability to plan for a beautiful future for themselves and others, their ability to see potential in the world and in other people and to grow beautiful things. Something about they seem to have like some kind of independent spirit. I've seen this the whole time. Like, I do think possibly this person has been single for a time, or they're just so good on their own that they don't need another person. And they have so much connection, I think, to their community that they don't need a partner. They may want a partner and love a partner and you work really well together. But I think something you really like about them and draws you into them is their ability to stand on their own and to be perfectly happy and to pursue their passions and their interests and speak their mind and all of these things without needing backup. Because they have such a strong conviction and belief in their values and their ideas about things that they are not swayed easily by the opinions of others or by what others want. And there's such an independent spirit about them and a confidence within them, a quiet confidence, and the way that they care about community and the world and big issues and big problems and like solving things, and that the fact that it seems like they can solve things and that they do solve and fix things makes you have a strong belief in them too. And so I think that you're just really, really drawn to those qualities, and they really have a strong sense of right and wrong and a strong sense of wanting the health of community, the health of the planet. They really believe in some of these things very, very strongly. And I think that you are really, really drawn to that. And you see other people really drawn to them as well. And so I think that also draws you in because you see other people perk up when this person speaks. Other people are also like, yes, finally someone is saying these things. And something about this passion sparks something in you. I think you also find this person like attractive in sort of an unconventional way. And the more that you are around them or experience them, the more attracted you are to them. And I think it's because of their unconventionality. For some reason, I'm smelling their skin, like their arm or something, and they smell like the outdoors. They smell like flowers and summertime. And I can smell it. It smells like, I don't know, like it's not grass, it's other plants and herbs. I think you like the way they smell, or like after they spend time outside. And this figure here is like very darker skinned, but it makes me think they get very tan. And because they spend a lot of time outside in the summer, I think, or where you live, it's like summery all year. And I think that you find their outdoorsiness attractive, like the time that they spend outside. It's like you like the way they look and the way they smell. Yeah, for some reason, I don't think they look like everybody else or look like people you've been attracted to in the past. You might have both been single for a while. I don't know. It's almost like you both have been able to stand on your own. And you like that they have that quality too. What else do you like about them? I'm hearing that they're a wish granted and that they grant wishes. If they know someone wants something or needs something, they will do what they can to bring that to this person. But even though they work so hard, I feel like they really, really work hard. They have a really good work ethic. This person can also just enjoy life and enjoy nature, and they can sit down. For some reason, I'm seeing you sitting on like a porch, having a coffee or a glass of wine or something, and you're looking out at the sunset. I think you really like enjoying the quiet moments with this person after like a hard day's work. You settle in together. You really like how they see magic in things and how they see potential in things and how they pull the potential out of things. I think with the Temperance card, they have this really kind kind of calming energy, because I think that they are so secure within themselves and so secure within their values and their beliefs and how they are in the world. And I think, especially if they are a little bit older, they have become sort of settled in who they are. And I think that you really like that, because I think that you might really appreciate stability, consistency, and sameness to a degree. You like the way they never give up. They just keep going, and there's a patience within them. They don't get impatient with the lack of change in the world. They just keep going and they keep dreaming. This is somebody who feels really, really trustworthy. And I think it's because of their obvious care for community. And so you really like that. There's also something really hardy about this person. I don't know if like physically they are very solid and like hardy, or they have like calloused fingers or something like that, or they're just, their personality is sort of hardy. Like they're not easily offended. They're not easily hurt. Because again, I think that they assume and see the best in people. And I don't think that they just trust like people willy-nilly and like don't have discernment, but they trust in life, the process of life, and in the world, and in things working out. What do you maybe not like as much about this person? The Fool and the Queen of Wands. Well, just as I said that they don't trust too easily, I think that you wonder if sometimes they do trust a little bit too easily. And sometimes I think that maybe they let people in who you don't necessarily see as trustworthy, or you see as kind of flaky, or they seem to have people in their circle, or they let people in who claim to have the same values as this person, but you suspect that they do not, and that it's possibly a mask, or they just want to appear a certain way to other people. So I think that sometimes you do wonder a little bit about their discernment with certain people. And I think that sometimes because this person is so willing to caretake others and give them what they think they need and see the best in them, sometimes I think that you wonder if they're being taken advantage of in some way, and that they're not being careful enough or guarded enough, and that maybe they're giving too much to people who don't deserve it. And I don't know if that's true or just the way that you see it. And I think sometimes you might feel like they focus too much on a passion or something within what they're doing for community, and they're not focused enough on themselves. And it's like I think you might think that they sometimes go a little too far in doing what they're doing to help others, even if they enjoy it, and that there's not necessarily enough balance. I think maybe sometimes you think that they are a little too passionate about helping other people to their detriment or your detriment in some way. I don't get a strong sense of this, but that sometimes it feels like they focus too much on other people and fixing things that are not necessarily fixable in your eyes. And so this might be a little bit frustrating to you, or like a little bit irritating to you. I almost wonder if you don't say anything and you just kind of let them do it, or if you do say something and you feel like you're not being heard. Or you may think that sometimes they are focused on something that is really working out, like this beautiful garden, and it's like they've put energy into it and it's producing results and everything looks really good, and it's like every sign says to just continue working on this, but they get distracted by something else, and they get distracted by this fool who does not need their help and is going to be doing foolish things, but they're like, well, I should probably go over there and help them and see if this person needs anything. Like, it's almost like you're like, no, just focus on what you're already good at and already doing. You don't need to be distracted helping somebody who is not going to appreciate it or doesn't actually need it or something. Or they get too distracted and don't focus enough on like one thing. Like I wonder if sometimes you feel like they have too many projects and they're creating too many things and they're working on too many things, and you worry that they're getting distracted from the things that matter. Yeah, I feel a little bit of anger or annoyance. So I think you definitely get irritated at something they're doing. At times. At times you get a little bit irritated or angry because you think it should be done differently, or that they're not paying attention to what is more important. Like their priorities are getting a little bit messed up. What does this person like about you? Queen of Pentacles. Ace of Swords. King of Pentacles. And the Nine of Pentacles. It feels like very simple in some way, in a very positive way. So what they like about you is that you don't make things overly complicated for them, because I think that their mind is already working on so many ways of like fixing things and helping the world and all that stuff, that they really appreciate simplicity, and they appreciate clarity and clearness, and someone who is like honest and doesn't hold them back from doing the things they want to do. It's interesting that we have the Queen and King of Pentacles here, because I think that they definitely see you as a very harmonious counterpart for them, very similar to them. You have possibly very similar values, a similar way of being in the world, of seeing things, of planning for your future, of enjoying, like, again, I think that you might enjoy sitting outside with one another or being in peaceful places with one another. Even I think like you could be watching TV or a movie, and there's like a quiet comfort between you where you sort of see things in a really similar way. And so they love that because it makes life easier and simpler for them, because I don't think that they want a complicated or dramatic relationship at all. Which, if they've been single for a while, that could be part of the reason why. Yeah, it feels like this is just clear. It makes a lot of sense. So what they like about you is that you are clear. You are clear with your feelings, and that you don't complicate everything for them. You enjoy what they have to offer. You enjoy what they put out into the world. You enjoy the simple things like they do. And while this Ace of Swords depicts a maze, it doesn't feel like you're wandering around trying to figure it out. You're right here at the center, and the center is beautiful. And it feels like so it kind of feels like they've wandered through life trying to get to this point with somebody. Like they've been here the whole time, but other people couldn't meet them there or match them where they are. And so you do meet them there, and you do match them where they are. And it's very abundant. Yeah, they really just like that you match them. Obviously, there are differences between the king and the queen. But I think that there is such a matching energy where you make sense together, and that it's, again, it feels like you're not complicating their life. You're adding to it, and it's like you are a natural addition to their life. It just makes sense, and it just increases the abundance that they feel in life and the beauty that they feel in their personal life. And somehow it seems that you help them reach their dreams and work on the things that they care about. And that you also are not self-centered or selfish. You are willing to contribute to the whole. You may not have that same level of passion that they do for some of these things, but you are willing to put in the work to help them and support them in what they care about. And I think that they really like that about you. I think that somehow you bring a little more luxury into their life. I wonder if they were living very simply in some way, especially because they like to rejuvenate the old. And so they're, they may wear thrifted clothes. They may fix up a house that, they are totally fine with like fixing what's already there, especially if it's a quality item in their eyes. But I think that you bring a little bit more luxury in some way. Like you not only introduce them to things that maybe they've missed because they've been living life a certain way, but you might bring new things in and that they can really appreciate. And because they may be so used to fixing up the old that they haven't been open to the new in a while. And so you bring new in, or you introduce them to things that they haven't experienced or haven't thought about in a long time. And also, I think in the way that you bring in luxury and abundance is because you allow them to take a load off sometimes and just relax with another person and enjoy life. And yeah, for some reason, earlier I saw you like drinking a glass of red wine. Here's some red wine. It's like you allow them to luxuriate a little bit more. And this is really nice because I think they've been working really hard for a long time. Yeah, I'm hearing uncomplicated again. It's an uncomplicated relationship. That doesn't mean there aren't certain things that one or both of you don't like, or that there may be some nerves or something as you get together. But overall, it feels very uncomplicated, very simple, very harmonious and balanced. I think they feel really appreciated, and they really appreciate you as well. And I don't think they need a lot. And I think that you respect that, and that you don't try to get them to change. You respect where they are and how they are. And you also allow them to slow down quite a lot. I think they've been doing a lot for a long time, and you help them to calm and slow back down and to, again, appreciate what already exists. Because I think that so often, while they see the potential in things and they're very optimistic, it is that there is potential. It's not that things are already where they need to be. They're always like, how can we fix? How can we move forward? How can we adjust? And I think that you allow them to slow down and see what's already wonderful and what's already good. And I think that they really love that because they forgot to do that. Finally, let's ask if there's anything that they want you to know. Is there something that they want you to know? Six of Cups. Death. Four of Wands. Page of Swords. I think with the Death card, actually, and this is like a nice Death card, I think that they want you to know, like, this is till the end. They see you as their final partner, the person that they want to grow old with or continue to grow old with and be with until the end. They see you as their end game in some way. They specifically want you and no one else once you come their way. And yeah, it's like commitment to you, excitement to be with you. And in some way, I think that you might remind them of a positive person from their past, or you remind them of, like, you feel like family to them in some way. I think they just really want you to know, whether you have met them yet or not, that there is a great deal of appreciation for you, that even if they don't always express it, they really want you, and specifically you. And they see you as their partner, as the person that they want to commit to and live life with and do everything with. And if you haven't met them yet, I feel like this Page of Swords is them basically saying that they are sending out a request for you in a way. Like, it's almost like Cupid's arrow, and they are looking for you, waiting for you, and ready for you. I think that this is, if you haven't met this person yet, for some reason, I think maybe you have, but if you haven't, I think it's going to happen very quickly. And the swords move so quickly. And I think that they might notice and have a crush on you or like you or see potential in you before you necessarily realize it. And so they might be telling you to kind of pay attention and look for a message or a sign in some way. And the Four of Wands is such happiness, and oftentimes with as a couple or in a partnership. And so I think that there could be marriage here as well, or at least a commitment of some kind, or I feel like for some reason you're going to move in together and live together, and that could be very soon. There's a feeling of safety with you that they want to express. And yeah, there's a feeling that you remind them of someone from the past, or in some way you feel like home, or they feel like they know you. It's very possible actually that you guys have been in one another's life. I've had this feeling a couple of times where you already know each other, even if you're not together. And so there's also a basis of possibly like friendship or something here, or you did know each other in the past and you're coming back together. And I think that's all I have for you. Thank you so much, Group 4, for being here. I hope this was helpful. If you did like this reading, please like and subscribe. I hope you have a wonderful week ahead. I will see you soon. Bye.